In this lesson 2.6, ratios and proportions, we have several learning targets. The first one is I can write a simplified ratio or fraction in 3 ways. I can determine if ratios are equivalent, and I can write and solve a proportion. So first we'll go over the vocabulary, and the first vocabulary states that a ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. A ratio of x to y can be expressed in 3 ways: x to y, x colon y, or the fraction x over y. Alright, and the second vocabulary term is a proportion. Proportion is an equation that states two ratios are equal. And here's an example. We have two ratios in the form A over B is equal to C over D. And in the proportion A over B equals C over D, the terms B and C are called the means. And in the proportion A over B equals C over D, the A and D terms, this one here and that one there, are called the extremes. And so we have a proportion property, and the proportion property is called the means extremes property. So let's go the means extremes property of proportion states that in a proportion, the product of the extremes equals the product of the means. So we were just going over how the product would be the multiplication. And so in the example here where we have A over B is equal to C over D, we could use the the means extremes property of proportions to state that AD is equal to B times C.